Welcome to Morocco, where the first thing I ate was tagine. This was in September 2025, the MBA had just finished and I managed to convince a few friends to go for one last trip before we all went to our home countries. And well, why Morocco? We all had traveled quite extensively around Europe throughout the year, and Morocco is a short flight away and very different from the rest of Europe. Also, Jennifer and a few other friends have recommended it, especially the Saharan experience, so we had to go. Marrakesh had the closest airport, where we spent a couple of days eating and exploring, including this couscous which I almost couldn't finish. We didn't have too much time to explore, so we had to be picky. And Bahia Palace was a good choice for that first day. It was built in the 1860s, and it was designed to be the greatest palace of its time. Not a bad place to spend a couple hours admiring the amazing tile work. We then hid from the rain in a cafe where I had Moroccan mint tea. And then David and I went to the Madrasa Ben Youssef, once the largest Islamic school in North Africa, while Lilis and Michael went to the spa. Now here's a tour of our Riyadh. This is the entrance. You can see the toilet here and the courtyard with 2 rooms and the kitchen to the side. We didn't use it, but it was nice to have. Here you're gonna get a glimpse of the rooms, and before I show you the rest, let me tell you, this place was massive. There are 2 floors plus the terrace. On the second floor, you had another 2 rooms. That's David and that's my room. Pretty cozy. That's David's room. And then we have the living room and another smaller living room within the living room. We were only staying here for 2 nights and I think we paid like £100 or €100 a night. And lastly, let me show you upstairs where we have a very nice rooftop terrace. We didn't really get to use it much because there was not enough time, but it was a pretty good place to watch the sunset and it has some nice lounges too. And for our last dinner before heading to the desert, we went to this restaurant with a nice rooftop where I had tangia. It's a meat dish cooked in an urn-like clay pot, a specialty of Marrakesh. And the next day we headed for the main experience of the trip, the Sahara Desert camp. Driving from Marrakesh, you cross the Atlas Mountains and do a few stopovers, because the drive is way too long, 8 to 10 hours. The food was alright in these stopovers, but the main attraction was Ait Ben Hadou, if that's how you pronounce it. A UNESCO World Heritage Site and an ancient fortified village made of earth and clay. It has served as a filming location for countless movies like Gladiator and Lawrence of Arabia. The desert camp is 2 nights, but you only spend 1 night in the desert because the first night is in a hotel. I was rooming with David and Michael, and we even had a swimming pool. The dinner was also quite alright. There were quite a few tours doing the same thing. The only problem was our AC, which sounded like a dying old man. Listen. I forgot to mention the hotel was in Tingir, an oasis town in the middle of the desert. We explored the old part of the town with its mud buildings, some of which were falling apart, and also got to see some handmade rugs. But the main attraction around here is definitely the Totka Gorge, a limestone river canyon carved over millennia, and it's mainly known for rock climbing. We had one more buffet meal before heading to the desert. And we had to ride camels for more than an hour to reach the desert camp. This gets tiring quick. We signed up for the extra quad bike experience and I have to say this was the highlight of the entire trip. We dropped our camels off at the camp, got on our bikes and rode into the sunset. Then I wanted to sandboard down the dunes standing up, but I was too scared, so I ended up just sitting down. I think I would have stacked it pretty hard if I had tried. And the camp itself was alright. We didn't go for the luxury experience, so we didn't have any high expectations. But the showers, that was a bit of a struggle. The tent was pretty basic, but that was fine because we only had a few hours to sleep. And the moon was so bright you could actually see outside at night. We woke up really early to have breakfast so we could get back on the camels and leave the camp before the sunrise. And when the time came, we made a quick stop to watch the sunrise from the dunes. And then we got back on the camels to leave the desert for good. It was then pretty much a straight drive back to Marrakesh, with only a couple of quick stops. Hola! We just had one more night in Marrakesh and we stayed at the Central House. It's a backpackers hostel, but I think it's the nicest one I've ever stayed in. We got a private room with 4 bunk beds and our own toilet. At at this point we were pretty tired of Moroccan food, so we got takeaway McDonald's for dinner. I'm sure they're the same time.
Happy meal inside a happy meal inside a happy meal.
On our last day, Lily's left early in the morning, but the three of us still had most of the day, so we got a nice coffee and went to Le Jardin Secret. It just happened to be the most convenient place to visit because it was right in the heart of the Medina. Pretty good to kill some time. And to complete the Moroccan experience, I got myself a chicken pastilla, and Michael and I went to get our bodies wrapped next to each other in a hammam. That was quite painful. And lastly, I got a flaky Moroccan flatbread, also called moussemen, from a street stall. And that was pretty much it. This trip was the finishing touch to my MBA year. And what a great way to end, ticking off new experiences with great company. Now it's time for everyone to go back and lock in on their careers. But for me, I have my wedding in about a month's time, so I better go back to Australia and get ready for that. See ya!